Time for a more online focused week, but with one pretty big pickup for the end. It's time for another episode of the Bargain Game Hunter. Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of the Bargain Game Hunter, and today we're going to be opening some packages. That's right, it is time for another epic edition of the Condition Report. So, we've got 4 packages here, one of which I have already looked at, but the other 3 I have not. So what these are, some of them are games from GameStop, and the other 3 are parts that I need for some of my Nintendo devices. So if you remember from a few weeks ago, I got a Wii U. It's missing a stylus. That's one of the things that I got. Actually, just go ahead and open that one now since it's the one I already looked at. So here is the Wii U stylus. Now, the big question is, will this fit properly in my Wii U? Let's find out. Perfectly. So we have ourselves a perfectly functioning Wii U stylus to go with my Wii U. So now I have a nice, complete Wii U. Pretty happy with that. Let's go ahead and get to the other parts packages because I feel those are not as interesting as the game one. So here's part 2. I don't have the devices that these belong to with me, but I'll show those complete when I get to them. This one is the back of a Wiimote. I think that fits. We'll find out, I guess. If you remember earlier in the series, I picked up a couple Wiimotes from a pawn shop. And one of them was a black Wiimote that did not have a back. It had a sleeve, but not a back. So I decided to pick up a back. So here is that back. I have the prices listed as well. These I'm not going to consider having any value because they're just extra parts to make things complete, but I add some value, I guess, because it makes the items complete. So here's the back. I'm actually very curious if this is going to fit properly. It said it is for black Wiimote, so we'll find out. But here's the last bit, and I think this is just one thing, although it actually kind of says 2. So let's see what we got. Now this is something I've been needing for a long time. So I have a white backwards compatible Wii that I actually bought back in 2006. Actually, no, 2007. And it was real exciting when I got it because at the time, if you don't remember how difficult it was back in the day to get a Wii, it's basically the same thing as what's going on with the Xbox Series X and the PS5, but not online. So you pretty much had to go to a store and hope you got lucky. But when I finally got my Wii, it was a pretty special moment. So I don't know how, but somehow during the course of the last, several years, my Wii has lost all of its covers for the GameCube ports and such. So I decided to remedy that finally and purchase some new ones. So it looks like I got both the GameCube ports. So this covers GameCube ports. This covers, I think, the memory card slot. I also got one of these, which covers the front. I don't think I need this piece, so I'm going to just keep that. But I do need these. So these are going to be coming in clutch for me to cover up my Wii. So now my Wii is complete again, basically. And then the last part, I think there's one more part. Yes, there is. We have a white Wiimote back. So I have a regular old Wiimote that I've owned for a very long time, but it's been missing a back pretty much the entire time. So now I have the black back for the Wii Motion Plus Wiimote and a white back for the regular Wiimote. So those are all the pieces that I got, and all those are going to come in clutch to make those items complete. All in all, I think I paid like $20 for all of it, which is pretty solid. So I'm happy to do that and make all those items complete. I will show you clips of the Wiimotes and of the Wii when I get everything set up, but pretty happy with that. All right, so here's my Wii. I don't have it plugged into my room just because I have the Wii U, and I only basically use this Wii for GameCube games. So, but here is the new panels. They fit perfectly. Nice and snug. This one's popping up just because there's a GameCube memory card in there. But yeah, the Wii parts work. Now let's check out those Wiimotes. And lastly, here are the Wiimotes. This one's a little dirty. Haven't used it in many years. There's the new back. And then here is the black one, which is a lot newer, much better condition. And its new back. So now I have two, actually now I have 4 complete Wiimotes. Stylus in my gamepad for my Wii U. And the Wii looking crisp. Can't complain. Last but certainly not least, we have our first of 3 packages worth of games from GameStop. This one is going to be interesting. I actually, oddly enough, I ordered these fairly recently, and they came in first, even though the other 2 orders I ordered much earlier. But this order came from in Florida, so that's probably why. So I got 2 Switch games here. One is pre-owned, one is supposedly new, although I don't feel either of them are sealed, so I think I got a last copy, which is unfortunate, but you know, it is what it is. Here, oh no, this one, oh yeah, no, this is the last copy. This one, I don't know much about. It looked interesting, and it got good reviews, so I figured I'd pick it up, and like I mentioned in my What Games to Pre-Order video, it's a JRPG, and it's from a publisher who's notorious for not having huge print runs. We have the Caligula Effect 2 on the Switch. I don't know much about this. It looks pretty interesting, so I'm excited to add it to my Switch collection. But it is the last copy, so it just has a sticker sealing it, and the sticker is peeling off in a weird way, which I don't particularly like. Oh yeah, and there was a sticker, a price sticker on this, and it got ripped off, it looks like, so. Not the greatest condition. That's why even with new games, it's still worth doing a condition report, because sometimes you won't get a sealed copy, you will get a open copy, like I did in this case. So, this is supposedly a new game, but it's the last copy from GameStop, so it's an open copy. But it's got some sort of ad in it. I think there's DLC. There might be DLC for this. No, it's a warranty. It's got cool in-case artwork though. That's pretty neat. So yeah, Caligula Effect 2. Don't know much about this, but it looks interesting. And it was on sale for cheap. I think normally this game goes for like 50 bucks. And it was on sale for 25 on the Switch. So I'm like, you know what? Might as well grab it. And then the other game, just to fill out the order, is a game I don't own. I mean, this one's in pretty much perfect condition as well. It is pre-owned. It looks like it's in really good shape. We have ODDWORLD MUNCH'S Odyssey on the Switch. So this is a port of the game that came out on the original Xbox. Which it's funny because they released a trilogy pack that came with this, New and Tasty, and Stranger's Wrath. And I own 2 of the 3 games already because I already bought Stranger's Wrath. So now I have MUNCH'S Odyssey by itself. I've never played the ODDWORLD games. I've heard they're really fun, like platformers, and this one apparently comes with some DLC stuff. It's a languages pack, apparently. Oh, it's already in English. So apparently you have to download the other languages if you want to play this in another language. But yeah, complete copy of ODDWORLD MUNCH'S Odyssey on the Switch. So I think we had a pretty solid lineup here. We got a brand new Switch game, a pre-owned Switch game they're both basically complete, and all these extra parts that I need to fix up all of my various devices. So pretty happy with that. Good start to the week. I do have 2 more packages coming tomorrow from GameStop. So we're going to check those out when they come in, and then at the end of the week, we got a pretty big, awesome item that you're not going to want to miss. So let's head to tomorrow. We'll see those next items. All right, 2 more packages have arrived from GameStop, so it's time for another condition report. Now this one's going to be a little bit different than our normal ones because all of these games are supposedly brand new. So the question is it sealed or is it the last copy? And one of these in particular, I really hope it's not the last copy because it's kind of an uncommon game. Let's go and open the package that has 2 games in it. These I'm a little less concerned about. One of which I can pretty much guarantee is sealed. Actually, both of these are sealed, so that's a good start. We're going to kick things off with Rainbow Six Extraction, the Deluxe Edition on the Series X. So this one, I'm sure you're probably wondering, well, why did you pick this up when it's on Game Pass. And the main reason why is, first of all, I wanted the deluxe edition because it has some extra content that looks pretty cool. It also has a buddy pass, so you can actually just play with people, which is nice. But also, I think this is a game that I'm going to want to have in my collection after it leaves Game Pass, so I figured it was worth the pickup. And I had some trading credit, so I picked it up entirely with trading credit. So, sealed copy of Rainbow Six Extraction. Nice to add to the collection. And then the other one, and this is a game I've been curious about for a while, but I finally picked it up, and that is Monster Crown on the Switch. Now, if you don't know what this is, it's essentially a kind of a Pokemon knockoff, but it's a more mature Pokemon knockoff. There's some more questions and stuff about it. It's a very similar style, like a top-down perspective and then turn-based battle system. It looked pretty cool. And it definitely looks like an interesting alternative if people who love Pokemon want to play something similar but also different. It's coming out on Xbox and PlayStation later this year, but it already came out on the Switch, and I figured the Switch is probably the platform I want to play it on, so pretty excited to pick this up and add it to the collection. It was $20. Actually, no, it was less than that. It was like 13 or something. It was a pretty good price, so yeah, Monster Crown on the Switch, nice edition. Now this game I've actually been waiting for a very long time because, and it is sealed. I ordered it, I think a couple weeks ago, and it just never showed up. I never got tracking information, nothing. And I emailed GameStop about it, and they're like, all right, we'll send out another one. So I'm assuming the first copy is just lost in the ether because it said it got shipped out, but I never heard anything from it. But this one did come in, and this one is new sealed, and I'm very curious about it. Undernauts, the Labyrinth of YOMI on the Xbox One. So this game is a dungeon crawler that's in first person, but with turn-based combat. I read about it. It looked really intriguing. Definitely not something you normally see, especially on Xbox One. And as soon as I saw it, I'm like, you know what? I think I have to get this just to see how it is, because it looks very different from anything else that I've really seen. Apparently the developer experience is actually pretty well known for this kind of dungeon crawler style. So not a game you're going to see very often. I figured I'd pick up a copy. Pretty exciting. Shout out to Wario64 for this one. He pointed out the GameStop had this available for pretty good price. I think it was like $53 or something. This actually came out late last year, but again, it's an ARCEUS game, so it's not one that gets a ton of advertising, and it looks really interesting. So, Undernauts. So yes, I did get all 3 brand new games sealed from GameStop, so thanks GameStop for that. We're not quite done though. I got one big game coming out at the end of the week, and my original plan for the weekend was I was going to try to pick up that PS2 bundle. I don't think I'm going to do it right away just because I've got some other things going on, but I think I will do a little bit of game hunting because it's been about a week and I have to go down that way anyway. So we'll do some game hunting and see if we can find some new games to add to the collection or trade in, who knows. So yeah, let's go pick up a new game from GameStop, and it's a big one I'm sure a lot of people are excited for, and do a little game hunting. Well, it's been a few weeks. They didn't have anything the last time I went, or I believe the time before that, but things change. Let's go check out Simple Pawn, see if they've got any deals for me. Let's go. Now, I've said a few times that pawn shop regularly has nothing. This time, they literally had nothing. They had, I think, 2 old Call of Duty games on PC, and that's it. And I think FIFA 13. That's it. All their other games are gone. I don't know if they got rid of them all or just somebody came in and bought all of them. There wasn't much there though before, so it's interesting. But yeah, they literally have no games. They had a bunch of third-party controllers. One thing I was kind of considering was they did have a PlayStation Move controller, which those can sell for a decent amount, but they wanted $25, which even if I got them to negotiate it down, it only trades in the GameStop for $16. And yeah, I could sell it online, but I don't know, I just didn't really want to. So nothing for me today from Simple Pawn. Shame. So at least now I know that they have nothing in stock. So it's probably going to be a bit before I go back there, just because there's no point in going if they don't got anything worth picking up. All right, next stop is Cash America. Let's go in, see if we find anything good. Let's go. Strikeout number 2, and this might be the entire trip, honestly, because I just not finding anything. They haven't gotten anything new since the last time I was there, and there were a few things I thought about looking at a second time, but there's nothing in there that really drew me in. So, oh well. I got one more stop. We're gonna go to Value Pawn across the street, so we'll see if they've got anything. I might end up leaving empty-handed, but that's not the worst thing in the world. I'm probably gonna give this a few more weeks before I come back next time. So like maybe not in a day or two, but like a week or two. Just because it seems like because it's January, there's just not much inventory coming in the door, at least for the shops. So yeah, we'll see what happens, but strikeout number 2. All right, last stop of this game hunting trip is Value Pawn. Let's see if I can avoid a complete strikeout. Let's go. Almost wasn't a strikeout, but ended up being one. So they actually did get a few new games in there, 2 in particular that are worth picking up to trade in, but the prices were just too high. They had Red Dead Redemption 2, which currently is trading in for about $9. They wanted 12, so obviously that's a no-go. And then one that I was very close to picking up, even to hold on to for future, but ended up passing just because right now there's just not enough of a profit to be made, is Call of Duty Vanguard on the PS4. Right now at GameStop it trades in for 24. They wanted 25, so with a bonus I could get 28 with the 30%. $3 just isn't worth it, I don't think. Paying 25 and getting $3 back, nah. So 3rd strikeout in a row. It is what it is. It might be a mistake to pass at Vanguard, but I just didn't feel good about picking up a game for that much money and flipping it for so little return. So, oh well. Maybe if it sits around a little bit, or maybe when GameStop gets a 50% bonus back, I'll consider picking that up if it's still there. Probably won't be. But for now, nothing on the game hunting front. That's okay though, we do have another pickup coming tomorrow, and it's a pretty big one, so that'll be fun. But yeah, struck out for game hunting today. It's GameStop time, and specifically it's GameStop time to pick up a new Pokemon game. Let's do it. All right, so that was an interesting experience. I went in there fully expecting just to pick up Pokemon, which I did. But I decided, you know what, I haven't asked this. Let's see if they have any Wii and Wii U games. So I asked, and they pulled out this whole little like stack of them. There were some solid titles in there. One that I immediately gravitated to was Nintendo Land, because that's a game that I don't have that would have been nice to add to the collection, but apparently they're not allowed to sell it, so that was a shame. But I did pick up one game, and there's another one I might pick up in the future. We'll see. But the first game I picked up was Pac-Man and the Ghostly Adventures on the Wii U. It was $15. Not too bad. It's a complete copy. Pretty solid shape. I don't know, just trying to get some more games on the Wii U, so that way I got some stuff to play on it besides just old Wii games. And then, of course, the big one, which is the one I'm excited to play later today, Pokemon Legends Arceus on the Switch. So I'll be playing this a lot later today. Should be fun. Yeah, 2 solid pickups. Pretty happy. I might go back later today because I know Corey wants to go in to check out some stuff, so I might go back and possibly pick up Tekken Tag Tournament 2 on the Wii U, because I think that's a fairly valuable game that they had for $10, but we'll see. So, pretty happy overall. Alright, so not too long after I came back from GameStop, I ended up going back because I looked up something and discovered there was something I left behind that I really shouldn't have. And I would not make that mistake again. I picked up Tekken Tag Tournament 2, the Wii U edition, on the Wii U. It is complete. It's in great shape. The disc is in great shape. GameStop had this for $10. Since we're at the final recap, I'll tell you all the values. This one is worth $35. So clearly should not have left it behind. That's the thing. A lot of GameStops are keeping their older gen games like behind the counter. So if you want to see stuff like this for the Wii U or the PS3 or the 360, it might be a good idea to ask and be like, hey, what PS3 games do you got? What Wii U games do you got? And they'll pull them out. So my GameStop had a good selection of Wii U and Wii games, and this was one of them, and I picked it up for dirt cheap. So paid $10 out of pocket, worth 35. So this is definitely the score of the week when it comes to game hunting. Pretty much our entire week was GameStop, except for my extra Wii parts that I picked up from eBay. I'm not going to include those in the recap because there's no value. There is because it completes some stuff, but on their own, they're not worth anything. So we're going to start off with the GameStop games I picked up in person, and then we're going to get to the online pickups. So the first time I went to GameStop today, I picked up Pac-Man and the Ghostly Adventures on the Wii U. This was another one that I was kind of interested in. It's a platformer based on an animated show. It looks pretty good, honestly. Again, it is complete, in great condition. Paid 15 bucks out of pocket for this one, and it is worth 12. So I lost a little bit of value, but you know what? It's tough to find complete Wii U games, so I figured I'd add it to the collection. So 2 Wii U games. Pretty nice. The other one is, of course, the big game of this week. Pokemon Legends Arceus on the Switch. I've actually been playing this pretty much all day. It's really good. If you're a fan of the Pokemon series and wish they did some changes, maybe made it a little more action-y, that's exactly what this is. It is going to take some getting used to for longtime fans of the Pokemon series because there's a lot of things that are significantly different from most of the mainline games, but they're good changes and they're a lot of fun. I don't think this is going to be the replacement for the mainline series. I think this is going to be more an action spin-off, and maybe they'll implement some ideas from it into the mainline series in the future. So if you want to see what more than likely the future of the Pokemon series is going to be, pick this game up. Paid 60 in credit, it's worth 60. So it just came out today. Now we got some GameStop Online Orders, and we had some pretty solid pickups here. Most of these were on sale. Some of them I picked up just because I wanted them or I had some credit. So we got some good stuff. So first we're going to go over a couple Switch pickups. We have Oddworld MUNCH'S Odyssey on the Switch. This one was mostly picked up because I needed the game to fill out an order. Came complete in great condition, so I'm always happy to add a nice complete Switch game to my collection. I paid 13 for this, and it is worth 17, so pretty solid addition. Next up, and this was the one I was more so curious about. I read the descriptions, it sounded really interesting, and it was on sale for a pretty significant discount. So I figured, you know what? Let's go for it. We have the Caligula Effect 2 on the Switch. Don't know much about it. It looks really interesting. Sounds really interesting. It's a very Japanese looking game. So I figured, you know what? Let's add it to the collection and check it out. This one I paid 25 for, and it's worth 52. This one has some severe value. It was normally a $50 game. It was on sale for half off. So I'm like, yeah, I got to pick that up for sure. I think it was on sale for 30, and then I had a $5 reward. So that's why it was 25. But still, $50 game for 25 technically. Pretty happy with that. Next one is a duo that I picked up mostly with credit. I did pay $6 out of pocket for one of these, but the other one I paid for entirely with credit. We have Rainbow Six Extraction on the Xbox Series X. I just picked this up. Yes, I know it's on Game Pass, but I wanted the deluxe edition because I wanted all the extra content. And I figured this is a game that even after it comes off of Game Pass is probably worth having in my collection because it looks pretty fun. I'm excited to try it out, hopefully with Wyatt and maybe Corey and some other people. Paid $50 in credit for this, and it's worth $50 because it just came out. Next up, and this one, it's funny that I got the next evolution in Pokemon, and then I got this game, which is very much retro style. We have Monster Crown on the Switch. Now, if you don't know what this is, it's essentially a Pokemon knockoff, kind of. It plays like the Game Boy Pokemon games, the old school ones. And in a good way. There are some subtle changes that they make to the formula, but this very much reminds me of the old school Pokemon games. And if you like that style and wish more games were like it, this is a game you're going to want to pick up. It has retro style graphics, really nice music. It plays just like old school Pokemon. Check it out, Monster Crown. This one was on sale actually. I only paid $6 out of pocket, and normally it's 30 bucks. It was on sale for 20. But I only paid 6 out of pocket. And this one is worth 30, so it has a pretty good value. And then this last game was one that I ordered a couple weeks ago. It took some time to come in, and I mostly ordered it because it's a game that you really wouldn't think would come to Xbox, but it did. and it was on a slight discount. Again, Wario64 pointed out they had this game in stock, so I figured, you know what? Let's go for it. This is probably going to be one of those games that in the future is going to be very difficult to find, especially on a platform like Xbox One. So I got UNDERNAUTS, Labyrinth of YOMI on the Xbox One. I did play a little bit of it. It's very interesting. It has like first-person traversal, but then turn-based style combat. There's a lot of reading. It's definitely one of those games that I think is going to take some getting used to, but I definitely want to keep going because it's very intriguing. I paid $52 for this and it's worth $53. So there's not much boost in value, but again, I have a feeling this is going to be a valuable game in the future, so that's why I mostly grabbed it. And that's it. A fairly light week, mostly from GameStop, except for my Wii parts. I still have that PS2 bundle that I'm hoping to pick up in the next couple weeks. So you'll see that in a future episode. I do have another GameStop order coming in, I believe, next week, although I think one part might be coming in tomorrow. So we got some more game hunting on the way. Don't miss it. Anyway, that's going to do it for this episode of the Bargain Game Hunter. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. We're doing new videos 3 days a week on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So hit that subscribe button and click the notification bell. That way you know when new videos drop. All kinds of game hunting stuff. We are doing some gameplay series as well. I've already started playing Time Splitters Future Perfect. And then I'm probably going to be starting Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc because it's on Game Pass. So you might see some kind of interesting games that you might not always see. I might also start a series where I just play games you've probably not heard of, just to see how that goes. Because, I mean, I have a lot of kind of uncommon games that people may not necessarily have heard of. So it'd be kind of cool to spotlight some of those, like UNDERNAUTS or Curved Space. So if you want to see a series where I play some games that you might not have heard of, let me know in the comments below. I'll be happy to interact with you. And if there's enough interest, I'll probably do it. Anyway, thanks for watching. And I'll see you on the next episode of the Bargain Game Hunter. Bye-bye.